Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Red Sox Digest. I am your host tonight, Jim Delfino. I'm sitting here sweating bullets over a series with the Sacramento A's, a franchise so dead they play their home games at Spirit Halloween stores. They're so bad they draw fewer fans than a Tuesday night bingo game at a church basement. Yet somehow, in this wild card knife fight, they feel like the final boss. Only in baseball does beating a team with 80 losses feel like trying to land a plane with one wing. Joining me tonight is the illustrious Nick Face, the human rain delay of Red Sox Twitter. Nick hates losing so much, he's pre-mad about the rest of the series. The man's pacing around like the A's already took 2 out of 3, and we're just waiting for the obituary. If Boston drops one game to Sacramento, Nick will be live tweeting his own meltdown. How do you let a franchise with 12 fans and a cat mascot bury you in the standings? That'll be his title. We'll be outside Fenway arguing with passing Uber drivers about bullpen usage. Also joining me tonight is Nick Diamond, a guy who treats every Red Sox game like it's a Fenway tour package. He's the dude pointing out where Ted Williams' homer landed, where Manny cut off Damon's throw, and now he's warning everyone that if we lose to the Oakland A's, the whole tour shuts down. Diamond's convinced the wild card hinges on whether some rookie from Oakland can find Pesky's pole. Let's get into it. Your Boston Red Sox are now 82 and 69 and fading fast in the wild card race. Top of the first, Oakland gets a hit off Alex Bregman's glove. Yeah, Bregman, you think the guy could get a good at catching things, considering his whole Astros career was built on stealing them. Early strikes out Kurtz, who looked so lost you'd think someone put him in the wrong sport. Bottom one, Trevor Story singles, steals second, his 29th swipe of the year. The guy runs more than Uber Eats drivers in a snowstorm. But then Narvaez strikes out. If you listen closely, you could actually hear the sound of momentum dying, like a balloon squeaking out a last fart of air. Second inning, the A's get a single, then immediately picked off. Oakland's offense, sponsored by Clorox, because they sanitize themselves out of every rally. Then, in the bottom half, Sox load the bases, Eaton, Sogard, and Duran are on, and what do? Strikeout, double play, inning over, classic Sox. If baseball had Yelp reviews, Fenway's offense would be 2 stars. Food's good, but the staff never shows up. Third inning, finally a run. Narvaez doubles, Ref Schneider scores, and the A's center fielder plays it like he's auditioning for Dumb and Dumber 3. Sox go up 1-0. The dream lasts all of 3 innings. Sixth inning, here comes the bullpen. Weiser waddles in like he's about to fix your Wi-Fi, then serves up a game-tying double to Tyler Soderstrom, a guy who sounds like he should be selling insurance in Minnesota, not ruining your Tuesday night. Next batter, RBI single, A's lead 2-1. Fenway went from Sweet Caroline to check please in 5 pitches. Final innings, Sox offense completely disappears, vanished, witness protection. It's like they left early to beat the traffic. Bregman, ground out. Romy Gonzalez swinging like he's trying to swat a mosquito. Story, 3 hits, but apparently it's illegal for teammates to join him. The rest of the lineup may as well have been cardboard cutouts holding bats. Your final score, A's 2, Sox 1. You just lost to a team whose stadium literally has possums in the walls. A team whose fan base could fit inside a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. Congratulations, Red Sox. Hope you enjoy seeing this on one of the season highlight DVD titles called What the Hell Was That? Now, it's time for Nick Face's Word of the Day.
And now it's time for Nick Face's Word of the Day!
I'm going to open this up to you guys here a little bit too after I give you the word, because I want to hear your take on your stance on this word for select players on this team that are this thing. So this is going to be open-ended here, and I want to see if we're in agreement on these particular players. Here's the word. It's called ball player. This team lacks ball players so badly that can play the game the right way, that mentally know their awareness of what's up, whether it's in the field, at the plate, whether it's hustling down the line, whether it's making a solid, fundamental, heads-up sort of game-changing play. I can name Alex Bregman, even though he is god awful right now. I can name Trevor Story. I can name Garrett Crochet. I can name Aroldis Chapman. And I'll even give you Garrett Whitlock right there. I have a lot of suspects on my list with this word of a ball player, but I will tell you definitively the names of players who are not ball players. Number 1, Jarren Duran. Number 2, Wilyer Abreu. Oh, excuse me, IR Abreu. Connor Wong. I'll even put Romy Gonzalez into that. I'm not taking away what he's done this season, but is the guy really a ball player? Nate Eaton. Is he a ball player? Those are some names on my list right now of at least some of the guys that are in the lineup. Now, when it comes to pitching, Greg Weissert, is that a ball player? You make your own mind up of that. Jordan Hicks, what do you think of him? Brennan Bernardino, how's he? Who else can we name for pitching? There could be other names, but I don't want to steal the show here on this entire segment. So I want to open it up to Nick and Jim to help us define what a ball player is.
Nick, I'll let you go first.
Somebody that, well, when you get to the big leagues, you should know the fundamentals of baseball. You should know what base to throw to. Unfortunately, that's not how it's taught anymore. So there's a lot of guys that are just talented baseball players and talented athletes that are not growing up being taught to be real baseball players. So I think that's what you're talking about right now. David Hamilton's probably the biggest in my mind.
And I forgot that. Shame
I
on
really
me because
think
I'm trying to
he's the
block.
guy
I'm trying to block him
messed
out of my
up
mind.
multiple times this season, and it's the same thing over and over again. So he's not learning from his mistakes. Nate Eaton, still that play at third base. Actually, there's been multiple plays at third base where he's just been horrendous this season. So that's one of them. Yeah, and then I'll let Jim keep going on, but yeah, David Hamilton's my biggest one.
Nick Diamond also tonight too. When you look at the Sogard and Nate Eaton play, okay. Again, you've got two guys that are not naturals in the position that they're in, and the communication obviously suffered there. That ball should have been caught. And again, you can't give, I don't care if it's the A's, I don't care if it's the Yankees, you can't give teams extra outs. And when you start doing that, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. And this is the problem with the roster construction of this team. And to Nick Face's point about ball players, we kind of talked a little bit about this before. There are very few guys that are actually baseball players on this team. We have athletes, but there's a big distinction between the two. Again, Jarren Duran is an athlete and a very good one. Ceddanne Rafaela is a very good athlete. Nate Eaton, he's built great. He looks like an athlete. The problem is that what you said, Nick Diamond, they're not learning from their mistakes and they're not being taught the game of baseball properly. You know, you could just see it. And I know everybody hates the eyeball test, but just watch Trevor Story play. Just watch what he does. Watch Dustin Pedroia. Go back if you need to. Watch Ken Griffey Jr. Watch guys who were baseball players and see how they play so much differently than the stat players that we have today. You know, I mean, you look at some guys, oh, they've got an OPS over 800, they've got to be good, but yet they're batting 230. You know, I'll give you a perfect example, and I know I'm going to get some hate email and hate tweets on this. I'm not a big fan of Cal Raleigh. I know he just hit his 55th home run today, and now is the all-time leader in home runs for a switch hitter. But I'll be honest with you, he doesn't move the needle for me. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? He's fantastic. The reality is, what's he done in the other years? Yeah, he had 230 home run seasons, a 12 home run season, whatever it is. I'd much rather have Aaron Judge 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. And the fact that that is even considered to be an MVP consideration between the two of them is a farce. Aaron Judge owns that MVP. And that's just how it is. Nick, your opening takes for tonight.
I would love to be sitting here praising how good Connolly Early was, and I won't get it wrong. He was amazing. He was amazing in his last start, and I find it really, really impressive that he shut out this A's offense twice. But we can't overlook how bad Greg Weisert's been for a really long time, and how poor of a decision it was to take out early, and put in Weissert. It wasn't really the bad decision to take out early. I think he did his job. He got through the lefty and Kurtz. But once you went to Weissert with inherited runner on base, it was over. That's all he does is let inherited runners score. That's what Weisert's known for. You should have gone to Slayton. You could have gone to Whitlock. I know it's a little early for Whitlock, but you go to him in a 1-0 game. You got to win this game. You have to win.
Yep. There's no excuse for this. I mean, again, Lou Merlone had a tweet. He's like, "What do you expect? Do you think you think Alex Cora is making that move?" Look, I don't care whether it's. I can't imagine that the on-field manager is just sitting there and waiting to hear from Craig Breslow on who to bring in that particular instance. If he is, then this team has really got more problems than we even know. But the bottom line here is that you have to know, Alex Cora, that the pitcher you want to bring in is letting inherited runners score like, hotcakes at IHOP. You can't let that happen. You've got to bring in a guy like Justin Slayton, Justin Wilson. I don't care what it is, but Greg Weiser is basically, I don't know if he's still on the Yankees. Maybe he is. I don't understand it. He is completely useless, and people are going to point to, well, he's got a 2.93 ERA. He's pretty good. Yeah, but his inherited runners are the problem. And that's another issue with how guys are graded with an ERA. I'm an ERA guy, but I also hate the fact that inherited runners aren't tagged to that reliever, and I think that's something that needs to change in the future. Nick Diamond, your quote. Go ahead.
Just not really a quote, just bad news. The Guardians just took the lead and won in the 10th inning, scored 4 in the 10th. So that's bad for the Red Sox.
It is, yeah. They was tied 3-3 in the 10th at one point. Moving along, I'll talk a little bit about more with this game. And you look at the I'm having a little bit of a computer issue here. Hold on one second. You look at the tonight's game, and I am having a bit of a computer thing here, so bear with me. Talking about Connolly Early, I know that the Red Sox want to go ahead with these rookie guys and watch their innings pitch total and so forth. But you know what? This is not a Connolly Early thing. This is not a Peyton Tolley issue. This is a Red Sox management problem, and this is why you needed to go out and get another impactful starter at the deadline. Nick Face, your thoughts?
Well, I tweeted when Weissert gave up the game, basically. And we're going to talk about a person that's definitely taking the crown tonight of our dugout dipshit later. But my whole take here was Alex Cora asleep at the wheel, putting Weissert into the situation here, when I thought about it again and said, we should have just extended early a little bit more. I don't get why he had to pull the plug so early there. No pun intended. But it really made me mad more so after the fact. I guess, Nick, you already brought it up at one point. You said he kind of reached that point where he had a good start. Everything was fine from there. But you should have pushed more. And that's your manager right there. And your manager fell asleep at the wheel once again, putting trust into guys where he shouldn't be. This is pretty much right now a doomsday effect after you just lost here to the A's. Right now, I don't like to be looked at as the know-it-all or the guy that can predict the future or the one that says, hey, I told you so. I don't want to do that. But right now, This is 2011 all over again, guys. Until proven otherwise, you can't tell me otherwise right now. This is a tailspin. This team is worse than the 2011 team, and yet we're trying to fill gaps with players that have no business being in Major League Baseball. At least the other team, when they collapsed, they had proven commodities. I've mentioned this before. You had guys that had a proven track record that could get the job done. Now, I know there's guys that are hurt. I get it. But you did diddly squat at the deadline. You could have improved this team in all different facets, but you didn't. And now you're putting your trust into guys like a Nate Eaton, a Nick Sogar, Romy Gonzalez being overexposed. You're putting your trust into continuing with whatever you're doing with Ceddanne Rafaela, one of the worst hitters in baseball this second half. I am not taking away the glove. The glove is Gold Glove-esque. I get it. But guys, I am done with having another player that's a Jackie Bradley Jr. I'm done with it. I'm happy for the glove. But when you have a lineup that's constructed where you can't get away with your number 9 hitter not doing anything, you can't afford it anymore. You just can't. And we've talked about it again a few times, but Alex Bregman really needs to be talked about right now. Because if this guy thinks he's opting out and finding $40 million a season over 5-6 years on the open market, ha 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 to the sucker that wants to take that. I'm all set. Great leader, great everything that he's been here. There's other fish in the sea. And this team has desperately got to improve something this offseason to give me some star power that can consistently get something done. I'm at the point where it's painful to watch the Red Sox. It's painful. I'm not looking forward to the games right now. I'm going to be brutally honest with you right now. I am not looking forward to seeing what the lineup's going to do or not do. Pitching-wise, I'm okay with the starting rotation. I was looking forward to early tonight, 100%. He did everything that you wanted to do tonight in his second outing. He did exactly what Peyton Tolley did not do. Early proved that he can get the job done and you can count on him. I like his command. I like his stuff. I like his poise. No moment's too big for him. And I think that's a big takeaway here with trying to figure out your future here for pitching. Something that we haven't had in a long time. I am very happy with at least what you saw there. But you really, back to the original question, you needed to extend there. And shame on Cora for continuing to put Weissert into these situations. I don't give a crap if that's the best you got. If that's the best you got, you're not going anywhere. You're not. It's just sick.
No, again, if that's the best you got, then I guess you leave early in the game. I mean, the reality is what really upsets me about the entire situation is the roster construction was poor. You had an opportunity, and I'll say it 1,000 times if I said it once. You had an opportunity to go out at the trade deadline and get yourself a bona fide number 2 starter. You failed in doing that for whatever reason and whatever offers were available. And so now you're stuck bringing in guys like Tolley and Early and really taking a crapshoot on these guys. Tolley had a great first game. His last 2 have been substandard. Connolly Early has had 2 good games, one away, one at home in front of the Red Sox crowd at Fenway. He was able to handle it to your point, Nick Face, and he actually gave you a really good start, and it's something to build off. I know it's the same team, but you would think that a team that sees the guy twice in a row might be able to get some stats on him. Well, they weren't, okay? He was still able to command his fastball. He was still able to get 7 strikeouts and had 16 outs in the entire ball game. So I give him a lot of credit. What I don't like is I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh, well, we have to manage innings. Well, that's your problem. It's not the player's problem, and it's not the fact that you're 12 games away from a potential playoff spot. I think you got to extend these guys here. Nick Diamond, are we right or wrong?
100%. He threw 80 pitches tonight. 80 pitches. What is 2 more outs? 88 pitches? Come on, man. It's not like he's never thrown 88 pitches in his life before. Why can't he get 2 more outs in the 6th inning and go 6 strong? He was dealing. I don't think he was going to give up that run. That was an
Nope.
infield single. Bregman couldn't make the play in time. It wasn't really anyone's fault. That runner shouldn't even been on base, if we're really being honest. He did his job, and he would have gotten those 2 more outs, and then we could have gone straight into Slayton, Whitlock, Chapman, and then we win 1-0. That's all it would have taken, is if you could have gotten 2 more outs out of Conley early, and I would have trusted him to get those outs 100%.
Over Weissert, of course.
Of
I would have.
course.
I would have rather tried to, at least give him an opportunity. If he's going to fail with the guy that's been dealing the whole night. This is what irritates me about Alex Cora, and everybody loves Alex Cora, and I
don't.
just feel he's a terrible manager. I'm sorry, I've said it since 2019. He's not a good manager, and the reality is, you get this situation. It's all matchups. He faced Kurtz, and then they got to take him out right away because you need to have the righty. And it just blows up in his face. You're running out of time here. I don't understand why Cora doesn't see that. Again, look at the lineup tonight. Jarren Duran batting 8th. And of course, everybody, well, it's a lefty on the mound, so you can. What does that have to do with anything? If you're going to have a lefty on the mound, that's automatic for Jarren Duran to bat in the bottom third of the lineup? Or is it just some other stupid creation by our good manager?
Nick Jim, Diamond, in all fairness, I was going to say, in all fairness, in a legitimate team, if they actually had the opportunity, Duran's butt's on the bench because he doesn't deserve to be playing against lefties. He doesn't. Yes, he got a hit tonight. Woohoo! He got a hit.
Nick, you're right, but here's the problem. We talked about this the other night. We don't have anybody else. You might as well have him in there and see what the hell he could do because we don't have the offensive star power. So here's my question to both of you guys. Here's my question to both of you guys. And Nick Diamond, I'll start with you. How do you fix the offense? You got, 11 games left? How do you fix the offense?
You don't. Realistically, you can't. They don't have the offensive potential. They don't have a potential bat in the minor leagues that can come up and solve the problems of this team. Roman Anthony's not coming back. We've had 0 updates for him. So even if we do get to the ALCS, like Alex Cora's been saying, it's not happening this year. They need to go get a big right-handed bat that could bat 3rd or 4th in this lineup, and they got to keep Alex Bregman. But I'm not paying him $40 million this year. So guess what? If he wants $40 million, I'm moving on. So you got to replace Bregman, and then you got to go get another guy that replaces Devers, because that's what happened. You lose 35 home runs and 110 RBIs in Rafael Devers. You can never replace that midseason, no matter what you think you can do.
No, and you know what? Look, Nathaniel Lowe has been a nice pickup, but even so, he's getting exposed lately. He's really not giving you too much offensively. He's got a good glove, but at this point, you could almost start looking at this as another gaffe. Nick Face, how do you fix the lineup? How do you fix the offense? Money. Bun up, bun up, bun up, bump.
I just don't have John Henry stupid money. I wish we did, but John Henry doesn't want to spend a lot of it. He'd rather just give it away to the Dodgers or the Giants. Say, here you go. Just take this off my hand. I don't want to deal with it anymore. In a perfect world, we've already would have seen this by now. You would have seen Christian Campbell up. Garcia would have got another chance. Ballpark Buzz, one of our buddies, had, Mickey Romero coming up. That's another guy that's in Worcester, and getting rid of Ali Sanchez. I think he's in witness protection program. They don't want to see him whatsoever. But yeah, they're not going to do it. They're not. They're going to be as stubborn as a mule here. We're going to be Groundhog Day here. It's going to be Bill Murray action, and you're going to be doing the same exact thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, the problem is you're just getting too many backup guys, getting too many opportunities, and that's really what it boils down to. That's why you're not scoring runs and you're not having consistency, because to Nick Diamond's point, you don't have a guy in the middle of your lineup that you can almost check the box that's going to hit 280, 35 home runs, and 100 RBIs. You don't have that guy. I mean, let's face it, even when Bregman came in here, and we were all for Bregman, and this is not a Bregman bash, but did you honestly have any idea what he was going to give us? Was he going to be the 40 home run Bregman? Was he going to be a 17 home run Bregman? We really didn't know what to expect out of him, and it was a pillow contract. Is he going to opt out? I don't know. I have more faith in Story opting out than I do Bregman opting out because Story's been a force. He really has. And, it looks like we just lost Nick, but he'll probably be back. Maybe he went to go get a Fenway Frank. But this is the issue. How was that Fenway Frank? You pretty good?
I'm back. I'm
Yeah.
alive. Sorry.
Yeah. That's all right. I missed you.
I know.
Um,
Everybody did.
So that's the issue, in a nutshell. Moving along a little bit more update. Nick Diamond on Wilyer Abreu. Now we're hearing that he can't even walk across his bedroom floor. He's still hurting. So where we go with him on air? Are we even going to see him again this season, Nick?
At this point, I'm not counting on it. I hope we do because we need him. We need any offensive potential we can get, any production possible. We need it. But I'm not expecting him to come back after what he's put us through. This is like 3 weeks delayed. We thought he was coming back a while ago. They said the Yankees series. They said the series before that in Arizona. This isn't going to happen. I'm not expecting anything from him. When he does come back, if he does, he's not going to go on a rehab assignment. The only thing I'm expecting from him is good defense in right field. And that's it. And I don't even, if he doesn't come back, whatever, we're going to go out there with this team, with the Nate Eatons, the David Hamiltons, and we're going to try our best. But is Wilyer Abreu really going to make that big of a difference? No, he really isn't. He's not Roman Anthony. He's not Rafael Devers. He's Wilyer Abreu. He'll run into a home run or two. He's going to strike out a lot. He's a good outfielder, but that's it. He's not a difference maker in this lineup. And realistically, he's probably worse left-handed. He's probably worse against lefties than Jarren Duran. And we're talking about benching Jarren Duran, too. Yep. They're both bad against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah. Nick Face, your thoughts?
Wilyer Abreu is just another average kind of guy that has a decent amount of chance to hit the long ball. He's got a lot of holes in his swing from what I've seen, and he can't hit left-handed pitching. Another thing that another outfielder of ours can't do either. Future here for this outfield, I don't want Wilyer Abreu. I don't want Jarren Duran. And right now, I really don't want Ceddanne Rafaela. I would make moves this offseason. I would do a total revamp of what we've seen right here. I don't know what they're worth. I don't know what you can get. But the whole song and dance here with Wilyer Abreu right now at this point is embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the team. It's embarrassing for the player. And we're left here kind of twiddling our thumbs. Oh, what's the Wilyer Abreu update today? Can he walk? Can he move? Can he swing? Can he do a damn thing? Oh, breaking news. He just lifted a spoon and ate ice cream for the day. I'm all set. I don't need it anymore. I don't need to have a player on my team I can't count on. I can't do it anymore. And even if he does come back, say the last week of the season, talked about this, I think, on Saturday's show. You are not going to get much production from him right off the bat. He's been out for over a month. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. I don't have that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to see it. He's done for the season in my eyes.
He very well could be. Just looking at some of his stats by the month, during the offseason, there was a lot of chatter about the possibility of moving him in a trade. And there was a lot of people on Red Sox Twitter that were against it. But he won a Gold Glove. The reality is that he started off very strong, and he's faded very, very badly. So March, April, 6 home runs, 21 RBIs, a 295 batting average, an on-base percentage of 417, and an OPS of 965, 52 total bases. Okay. May, 7 home runs, 8 RBIs. Now that's a trick. Batted 212, OPS of 687. June, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, an OPS of 775. July, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, 760 OPS. And August, he only had 14 games, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 832 OPS, but only 22 total bases. So, you're looking at a season of 253, 22 home runs, 69 RBIs, and an OPS of 811. I think he could definitely be a guy that you could trade in this offseason still and probably because of the term that he has, be able to get something. But, again, if Roman Anthony's going to be out there and if Durant's going to be out there another year, you got to start thinking that there's just no room and somebody has to be the odd man out. And I have a feeling it's not going to be Rafaela because we just love his defense in center. And I know, Nick Face, you said earlier about Jackie Bradley. Look, if we did find the offense around him, I'd be okay with it, but I just don't
I
know
am
if we
too.
can. Yeah,
I am
I don't
too.
know.
I'd be totally fine with it because you could salvage that. Much like how they were able to do that with like the 2018 team. I'll never forget Jackie Bradley with the big hits in the Astros series and everything right there because they had the amount of depth in their lineup to protect each other. This team is so exposed with not having anybody to protect the damn thing. I mean, we've went over this. They don't have a leadoff hitter. The number 2 hitter reeks. Their number 3 hitter is a question mark. You don't know what that is. You don't have a cleanup hitter and so on and so forth. You got a bunch of 8 and 9 hitters trying to be in all these different slots all over the lineup. And that's not going to make it you win baseball games over the long haul. You have been overly exposed is what you've been.
Going to take a moment and look at some of our chats from some of our listeners and watchers. Nugget, who comments frequently on our things, he said, "Need Weissert off my team." I agree. I mean, I don't know, maybe a phantom injury. I don't know what's got to happen, but you can't feel confident with Weissert coming in any of these games at this point. Glenn wrote, "Glad they lost. Weiss sucking." Yeah, he did really do bad tonight. Nugget again, 22 pitches to get 1 out. I mean, it's just been a really bad look for him, and I just don't understand how we can continue with the remaining games left to even consider bringing him in. Lambert, can Scott Boras tell me more about how Bregman is opting out of a $40 million next year? I mean, please. Agree with you there. I just can't see it happening unless some team just decides, like the Tigers, that they want him badly and they're going to wind up giving him a 5-year deal. Because otherwise, I can't see that either as well. Another one from Lambert: we're stuck paying Bregman $40 a year for the next 2 years when he's worth 23 at best. Well, newsflash: they are actually paying him $20 million per season. The difference is 20 of it is actually, I think it's been brought down for 10 years, something like that, guys, right? So they're not even actually pay him the rest of that. And he's got kind of like a Shohei Ohtani contract there, just built a little bit differently. So they're only on the hook for the 20 million this year and next year. It's down the road that they'll be paying for that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Nugget says, Cora is a robot. It's not the 8th, so I can't use Whitlock. Pat's Purse says, that's it. I've booked a flight to Tampa. I'll be saving your season this weekend.
I'd
You'll
ask
be
for
there.
a refund.
You'll be there with Nick Diamond. Hopefully he can take you under his wing and have you, maybe both you guys can watch that game and enjoy together. Nugget again, he says, still incredible they traded Devers. It's unbelievable. Again, it was a money dump. That's all it is. This has nothing to do with Jordan Hicks and has nothing to do with Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison had a great minor league outing, and he came up and had a good 3-inning stint, but we'll see where that goes. The problem is that I don't want to showcase so much with 11 games left. I wanted to win, a playoff spot. Time for Dugout Dipshit.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Dugout Dipshits.
And Nick, I'll let you take this one because
this one took the cake here tonight, guys. Story is king. Handle of Prince Yoshida 7. I think that says it all right there. When you have a handle that says Prince Yoshida, I'm never going to take you seriously. So I don't typically swear on Twitter, and if I'm mad, I'm gonna let out the big words, and I did tonight. What the blank are you doing, Red Sox and Alex Cora? gutless managing and inexcusable when you are fighting for your life to make the playoffs. Exactly why I said all week long that this team is not making the playoffs. I'm so done with this blank hashtag Red Sox. So Mr. Prince goes, "Oh, you're done? Oh, no. Franchise may never recover from that one. Early has never thrown this much in his life. Oh, poor baby. They're going to manage his workload. Every team does it. Not going to risk hurting a promising arm. Get over it." You know what, Prince Yoshida? I'm over you.
Well said. Moving right along to the wild card.
And now it's time for the Wild Card Watch.
The Wild Card Watch is powered by Shaw's Grocery Receipt Paper. The only thing longer than a sock September is your checkout slip. Shaw's reminding you there's always another coupon and another team beating down our neck in the standings. So, Nick Diamond, I'll let you have the floor on this. Give us a little bit of an update of where we stand and what you're seeing for the remainder of this season.
So it looks like by the end of tonight, the Red Sox will be solely in the third wild card spot, which would mean they would go on the road if the season ended today, go on the road and face the winner of the American League West. That could be anyone at the moment. Right now, it looks like the Astros are a half game up on the Mariners. So that could be either one of them. The teams right behind us is the Cleveland Guardians, who have been super hot lately. I think they're, let me make sure I have the right
Five in
number.
a row?
I think, yeah.
9-1.
5 in a row, and it looks like they're 2 games back of the Red Sox. So that could be, Red Sox get swept by the A's and the Guardians sweep, and we're out. It's really as simple as that. So it's time to panic. It really is. The Guardians are right back on our heels. They have a negative run differential, so that's pretty embarrassing. The Red Sox have one of the highest run differentials in the American League, with the Guardians near 0, and they have a chance to pass you in the standings. It's really embarrassing. That's how you know the Red Sox, they score a lot of runs, not lately at least, and they don't give up a lot of runs, but they make a lot of stupid mistakes and lose a lot of stupid ways. So that's how you can have a very high and very good run differential and still not make the playoffs.
Nick Face, the Red Sox, according to ESPN's website, still have a 91.3% chance of making the playoffs. How in God's green earth is it still 91.3%? Walk me through that.
Because they lie. It's the mainstream media trying to spew nonsense out of you, and they are trying to get clicks and make it so they can make money off you, and they're going to have their last laugh when they go to the ATM. That's what that is. 100%. It's baffling that it's that high from it. I just don't see it. I can't see this team getting to the playoffs right now. I can't. This could be worse than 2011. I'm going to say it. This could be worse. No one's going to carry you there. You can only get Crochet one out of every 5 days. And it's a matter of, again, if he pitches, will they hit? You don't know. I can't count on anybody in the lineup. I can't consistently. Nope.
So here's how the last few games are going to go. We've got Giolito tomorrow against Barnett. We have Brian Bale in an afternoon game. We know how those have been a challenge many times on a Thursday getaway day. And that's when Alex Cora likes to basically DH himself because he's got his B lineup going. Friday in Tampa, Nick, I guess you'll be at that game. There's still no, according to ESPN, there's no starter listed for that game. So I don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I don't know yet either. It looks like it's either going to be Crochet or one of Harrison/Tolley.
So Crochet is scheduled, according to ESPN, he's scheduled to be on Saturday and then early again on Sunday. And then it looks like Tolley, Giolito, Bayo in that Toronto series. And then, lo and behold, I thought we were done, but we do have an Apple TV Plus on Friday, September 26th against Detroit.
Another game I'm not going to watch.
Yep,
Excellent.
and that was supposed to be a Crochet start. Again, we've all talked on this podcast if Crochet should start that game, depending on where you are in the rankings and the wild card race. So it'll be interesting where that plays out. So Giolito, Bayo, to finish the series, Tampa Bay, unknown, Crochet early. So I don't know. How do you think this is going to play out? Final takes, Nick Diamond.
I think they win one of the final two against the A's.
And is that enough?
No, I don't think it's enough. And then you're going to have to go to Tampa and win 3, which I don't know if that's enough. You got a weird scheduling in Tampa where they're all night games for some reason. Sunday as well as a night game. And it's not Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, and it is on NESN. So that's a little bit weird. So, yeah, they have to – if they take the next 2 against the A's, I'll be a little bit less worried. But if not, they got to go into Tampa and sweep. Like, that's the only way, because I don't think the Blue Jays are going to let off the gas. I don't think the Tigers are going to let off the gas. They're going to still play to win. They need to win that home field advantage for the playoffs. So they're both still in it. So you've got to take care of the A's and you got to take care of the Rays, because I don't think those other 2 teams are going to let off the gas.
Yeah, I mean, your Toronto Blue Jays are the top seed in the American League at 88 and 62. The Tigers are 3 off the pace, 4 in the loss column. And Seattle, who again 9-1, won 9 in a row, and they're winning big tonight. 10-5 now in the 9th. They're on pace for their 83rd win. So it's tight, and I'm sure those teams are gonna probably play it to the end to see who can get that top seed or the best record in American League. Nick, Face, your final takes as it relates to the rest of the series and the rest of the season.
Any of you see the quote that Alex Cora said at the end of the game tonight
Not
regarding his decision on why he pulled early? I want to quote it here, and I'll read it to you. So Alex Cora says that tonight it wasn't about the matchups, but, quote, the guy that was hitting. And that's why he removed early. That was his statement on why he took early out. That is absolutely pathetic.
Isn't that exactly what the matchups mean? The guy who's hitting? Wasn't it Brent Rooker, the right-handed guy who mashes lefties? That's exactly what he means. That's matchups. He needed the righty to face Rooker.
Yeah. He can't even make up his own lies and remember what the hell he's talking about. That's
Alex
the problem.
Cora doesn't know how to manage. That is the problem here. He got away with 2018 looking like a genius. And now we're what? 2019? 2020 got suspended. I wonder why. 2021, 2, 3, 4. We're now what? 6 seasons into this? And it's for the most part been deja vu. Well, he doesn't know how to manage a staff, pitching staff. He still doesn't know have a general sense of when the right time it is to bring a guy in from the bullpen, outside of it's like Chapman when you're closing. It's all about matchups and finagling and finesse and roll the dice. And, this is my leadoff guy tonight. This is who's going to be my 7th inning guy tonight. Let's shake it one more time. What does the Magic 8 Ball say? It looks like I got to go to Weissert now after early. That's what he does. And it's not acceptable anymore. The more we keep stringing this along, the worse it's going to be to actually improve, to start getting back to championship Red Sox baseball. It's got to change.
And I don't see a lot of that happening in this offseason because you've got a lot of moving parts. I know they got Chapman coming back.
We're going to make a lot of excuses, Jim, is what's going to happen. Roman got hurt. Marcelo Myers down. We didn't have Tanner Houck. Cutter Crawford was hurt. We didn't have him. It's going to be that. Bregman was hurt for a long time. We had no Tristan Casas. That is exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. And then this is scaring the crap out of me.
It should.
I don't know how much longer I can take on doing another season of this, of dealing with complacency. I don't know how much longer I can do it.
Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, you are facing the possibility of a lineup next year That's going to have Duran, Rafaela, and some combination of Roman, Anthony, or Abreu as it's constructed right now. Mayer at third. You could have somebody at short if Story opts out. You could have Campbell in there. You could have Tristan Casas at first base. And whoever's not in the field could be your DH. So this could be a very poorly constructed team next year as well, and one that's going to be a lot cheaper. So, we'll have this conversation obviously again as, the end of spring, the end of the signing period ends and we get kind of like into pitchers and catchers, because at that point, most of the signings are done. But I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm telling you right now, as of September 16th, be in big fear for what next year's lineup is going to look like, because I really think it's going to be worse than the 2025 lineup. So, and this lineup has been very questionable. But that's all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to thank Nick and Nick for joining me. If you haven't had a chance yet to go and sign up for our newsletter, it's right there on your screen, redsoxdigest.com. You can go there and get a free subscription. You can also get a founding member subscription as well. We'll put you on the broadcast. And Thayer also has his Fenway flashback showcasing the 1975 season. So definitely a great read. Go ahead and take a look at that. We will be back with you on Thursday, where we'll wrap up this series against the A's. Hopefully we get 2 wins out of here and a little sigh of relief. But right now, if you're a Red Sox fan, if you're watching, listening, or you're on Twitter or whatnot, there's no possible way that you can feel confident about what you're watching right now and how you're feeling. So we'll see how it goes, and then we'll also preview the team.